All right, guys, so up to this point, we have our Django application running on a DigitalOcean droplet. Well, actually, it's not running right now because I stopped the Django server. But that's how we have it now is definitely not the way that you want to keep it. It's not production ready just yet. We need to add a couple things here. So we're going to use something called Gunicorn or Green Unicorn, which it's a Python HTTP server. If you want to read more into it, you can go to gunicorn.org. And yeah, so it's a Python WSGI HTTP server for Unix. So we're going to run this. We're going to let this run our app on 8000. And then we're also going to put Nginx in front of it later. Okay, Nginx is a very popular web server, and this will allow us to run it on port 80, so we don't have to go to port 8000 and so on. All right, so the idea here is to install it. Then we can actually run it like this, but that's still not what that's not going to be the end result, but we can test it and run it like this. And then after that, we need to actually edit some config files on the server and add this stuff to it. Okay, and some of this I'll have to change because, as you can see, I still have like Django admin as the user. Wait, Django admin is the user. What is it that I have to change here? Actually, you know what? I don't think I do have to change anything. So yeah, this should be good. If I do, then I'll change it and you guys will have the fresh version. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to install Gunicorn with the pip package manager. So let's go back here to our server, and I'm logged in as Django admin, and I'm in my virtual environment. So I'm going to say pip install Gunicorn. Okay, that was quick. And then I have right here, we want to add it to our requirements.txt because that file holds all the dependencies. Everything that this application needs to run is in there, so we should put this in there. So let's go back to our terminal and let's say pip freeze, and we want to add this to requirements.txt. Okay, so once we do that, let's take this line here, and this should actually run our server, but we may not see any static files, images, stuff like that. So let's try to run it, see what we get. And notice that this btre, this is whatever the name of your inner folder is. So we have btre project is our main project, and then btre is the main file. This is where the wsgi .py file is. Okay, so we're going to run that, and it looks like it's working. So let's try and go to our IP. So let's see, you're going to copy our IP address. Yours will obviously be different than mine. You still want to go to port 8000, and there we go. Okay, so these images are showing, but you can see that we're missing some assets here. So we have to fix that. So if we go back to our document here, we want to stop the server, and then we want to deactivate the virtual environment. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go ahead and stop this. And to deactivate, we simply say deactivate. Okay, so now notice that the venv is now gone from the front of this. So we know we're not in our environment anymore. So we need to open up this file. This is our gunicorn.socket file. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to make this smaller, and we're going to go ahead and paste this in. Whoops, it didn't copy correctly. All right, so this is actually going to create this gunicorn.socket file, and we want to grab this right here. Okay, I want to grab these lines, and these all come from that DigitalOcean article. Okay, we want to save this, so I'm going to do a Control-X, yes, and then Enter. So that should be saved. Then we want to open this file, this gunicorn.service. So we'll grab that and paste that in. And we're going to copy this. All right. Now, if you didn't use these paths, this path right here, home Django admin, if this isn't your username, make sure you put your correct username. If you didn't, make sure that this path goes to your project. Mine is in PyApps and then BTRE projects. Same thing here. This should actually go to your venv. So wherever your venv folder is, and then it goes into bin Gunicorn. It'll actually create that folder. And then I think that's it. You want to use BTRE or whatever your folder is. Let me just show you real quick. So whatever this folder is, okay? If you've been following along, then it's going to be BTRE. All right, and notice that's where the WSGI file is. Remember, I told you that has to do with hosting, so so your application is available on the internet. All right, so this should be good. Let's go ahead and Control X, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know what a lot of this stuff actually does, but I know that we have to do it. So now we just want to start and enable the Gunicorn socket. So I'm going to copy this, run that command. Let's copy this. So just keep this file as a resource. So this created a symlink. All right. Then we can check the status if we want. All right, and you'll notice that it's active, it's listening. Okay, so the Gunicorn socket is now listening. Check the existence of the Gunicorn.sock. Okay, good. So everything looks good up to this point. So, I mean, if you get any errors here, just make sure that you created these exact files. Make sure that your configuration looks the exact same. I would really like to find the DigitalOcean article. There's just so many of them. Like there's probably like 15 different Django, Nginx, Gunicorn configuration articles. Let's see. Let's say Ubuntu 18.04 Django, Nginx, DigitalOcean. Let's see, is this it right here? Yes. Yes, this is it. This is exactly the article that all of this stuff comes from. You can see that we installed all this stuff, logged into Postgres. Let's see, where is it? But this is for a new project. You can see this is for creating a new Django project. Just trying to look for the configuration. Right here. So this is what we just did. We created this Gunicorn socket. This is the code that we put in. We created the service. We didn't actually, oh yeah, we did. This is just part of this file. Yeah, so this is what the final thing should look like, and that's what we did. Okay, and then checking for the Gunicorn socket, we did that. Everything looked good. All right. So now we want to work on Nginx. So down here you can see configure Nginx to proxy pass to Gunicorn. Okay, so basically Nginx sits up front on port 80, and then it passes it off to Gunicorn, which runs on 8000, I believe. All right, so that's what we'll do in the next video, is start to configure Nginx.